raps with an emotion so raw, he often can't stand still. Storming into the Mercury Ballroom in November, fresh off his win
1,200
at the Louisville Music Awards for Hip Hop Artist of the Year.
Whatever genre or stereotype or category you try to shove someone in, Louisville is the only city where I can exist and create without limits, without boundaries.
Breaking through boundaries has never been a problem for the man known as 1,200, both musically and in his everyday life, where on this day, his adoring fans are first graders. It's a crowd where 1,200 is known not by number, but by name. Mr. Arthur, Ja'Cory Arthur, music teacher at Height Elementary School in Middletown.
I like pumpkin pie. I like me too, I like monkey bread.
His teaching methods are as unique as his music.
He's going to scrape it. All right, here you go. You're the boss, Miles.
I like chocolate cake.
I like chocolate cake. Wonderful.
After all, Ja'Cory Arthur has been an individual ever since, well, he was this age, growing up on the streets of West Louisville.
Did you have friends that were hurt by violence?
I did. I had some older influences that were actually hurt by violence or, arrested, imprisonment, and then I also had friends who chose a different path than I did.
A memorial in his neighborhood honors 4 high school friends who were murdered. It is far from the only tragedy in Arthur's life. The cousin who helped raise Arthur was shot in front of the house where Arthur grew up, and then later sentenced to 10 years in prison for drug trafficking. And then there was that infamous day of violence in 2012. The one that many in Louisville, including Arthur, will never forget. One of the people killed that day was his sister, Makiba Lee. Arthur said he and Lee lived separate lives, and he never really got the chance to know her. Instead, Arthur was on a different path, on his way to U of L, where he got his master's degree in music education, and is now a classically trained musician.
And what does that mean, classically trained musician?
It means that I studied a bunch of dead German guys, like Beethoven and whatnot.
It also means he's just as comfortable on stage with Teddy Abrams and the Louisville Orchestra.
Everybody jump right now!
As he is with fellow rap star Jalen Rose.
All day, all week,
His younger brothers, 7-year-old Cam and 16-year-old Artavis, are also aspiring performers. Arthur's advice to them is simple: don't limit yourself.
And I really just want to show them you don't have to go a certain route in life. You can do whatever you want to do. You don't even have to fall into the norm of the only way to make it out of a bad situation is to be a rapper or a basketball player. So I want them to see that the world is bigger than what you really think it is.
It's a message he shares as program director at AMPed in West Louisville, a safe haven for underprivileged kids to study music. Artavis is one of the students there.
It's really hard to not fall into what everybody else is doing, because pretty much everybody does the same thing, and it's hard to not do that.
Why do you stay so connected to this community?
I think it's important to come back and give someone not only just a role model, but someone in a positive light to show them that there are different sides of that success.
Success that is no secret around Louisville anymore.
Does anybody know what Mr. Arthur's other job is?
Except in the one place
It's a magician.
A magician.
you might least expect.
Well, he's normally really quiet.
Believe it or not, until recently, no one at Height Elementary knew that Ja'Cory Arthur was anything more than a music teacher. Not even his principal.
We have a Height Facebook page, and someone had tagged 1,200 in the on the Facebook page, and I was like, oh my gosh, he's this huge rap star outside his school.
Now the word is out.
This is ridiculous. When we get into it, I came in sense of it. It is so introduce me and Nicholas. We got us killing it. Yes, I'm feeling it. Tell me how real it is.
How cool is that?
Thank you.
But Arthur says he remains focused on helping kids, both inside of school and outside, knowing the impact music can have on all of their lives.
Thank you. I'm 1200.